I've always wondered, did I make the wrong choice? I've been sad for so long. Take me back to Kumo City. Disconnect me from this world. Please, find me.
morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel and happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to be working on our Resilient project. And boy, we have been exerting quite a bit of resilience in working with this project. We have finished one block, which you guys can see just right here in the corner. And we're going to be starting on block number 2. Now, these blocks are a little, I wouldn't say complicated or technical, but they do have a lot of moving parts to them. So we're going to be doing one block at a time just to make sure that we're doing things the way we need to be doing them. Because I don't have a whole lot of scraps left over from this project. So I need to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to give a very special thank you to Sean from The Guy Who Sews channel. He invited me over to his channel yesterday morning. We had so much fun. We put together Clue 2 of our Wild West project. But don't you worry, Lucas will be back, I think, next week to do our Wild West. I meant to check the calendar before I went live and I forgot. I think he'll be back next week to do our Wild West project. He'll be working on Clue number 2 with us, so he'll be behind the machine and I'll be the one doing the ironing. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'll post a note on our Facebook and on our community page of the exact date, but I'm pretty sure it's this week. I'll double check. Just a reminder for those of you who weren't here last week or weren't able to join us last week, I did announce that we've officially opened up memberships on the channel. If that's something that you're interested in, you can click the join button down below and find out a little bit more about it. I won't go into too much detail today. I want to make sure that people understand that these are just options for you. None of this is required. This channel is not about making money. It is about making friends and fun projects. So I want to make sure that I point that out as well. If you're interested, we also have some merchandise just in case you want like your very own So Not an Expert coffee mug. You can do ! merch in the chat below, and that will give you a link for that as well. We also have the super chats and super thanks if that's something that you're interested in the channel, in the chat boxes there. And then if you're looking to make a donation to the channel, you can also do ! tip in chat as well. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to what we're going to be doing today. First of all, I want to thank everybody again for joining me. I know there's quite a few people in chat already. I'll say hello to you guys in just a minute. I love that purple chair. Oh, it's it's not a purple chair, Terry. It's just my purple bin that's on a black chair. But thank you. I used to have a purple chair when I was younger. I wish I had kept it, but that would be so much fun to have again. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. But no, unfortunately, it's not a purple chair. That would be pretty cool, though. That might be something I'm going to have to look into for the channel here. You know, that is the theme of this channel is purple and green. So that would be really, really cool. Yep, and it's a purple box. But, you know, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Thank you for that. As you can see, Terry was able to tag me in a message, so I was able to see it right away. So if you're interested in making sure that I see something, make sure you tag me in chat there. Okay, so a couple of quick announcements. I already told you about Wild West. That one's coming up. The After Dark edition is going to be a little late this month. We're going to be doing that at the end of the month instead of more towards the middle of the month. We had some scheduling conflicts that kind of came into play, so we're going to be doing that the last weekend of the month. I believe it's the 28th or the 27th. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. I think it's the 28th or the 27th. That will be our After Dark edition. So it'll be a lot of fun. That's where Mama Joyce and Sherlock Cheryl join me to make our Clue 8, of our Tree of Life PMQ. So we'll be doing that then. So if you want to put yours together early, that's fine. We completely understand. If not, though, you can hang out and wait for us until the end of September. Wild West will be our Wild West Wednesday live stream. So it'll be a Wednesday evening live stream. I'm pretty sure it's next week. I'm going to have to double check my calendar. But I'm pretty sure that's next week. This week you'll be seeing a new video for our Floral States of America project. We're going to be working on Maryland. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of research on Maryland yet, so I don't have some fun facts for you today. But make sure you check out that video sometime this week. You'll see that one. Last week we talked about Massachusetts, and I learned so many new things about Massachusetts. It was so much fun. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out that series. Each video is less than 10 minutes long, and it's a kind of a tribute to each state, as well as a fun little block that we're going to be making too. In addition to that, we will be starting a brand new project probably next week called Hillside Charm. It's a Villa Rosa Designs pattern. It takes a panel and some charm squares. Charm squares. So if you have, and then an extra yard of fabric. So if you have a panel that's at least 23 by 19 inches long, a coordinating charm square pack I think you need 72 charms, so you might need to grab 2. We're going to be using fat quarters here on the channel, but you can use charm scores as well. And then a extra yard of fabric for some framing that we're going to be doing as well. So make sure you put those pieces together and you can start on that project with us. Mama Joyce will be joining us for that project. I don't know that she'll be joining us on camera, but she will definitely be joining us for the project. So she may just post some pictures in Facebook and things because she did purchase a quilt kit when we were on our travels for that particular pattern. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see what hers looks like. Hers is a hers is a Halloween design. Mine will be a man cave design. So I'm really excited. I showed you guys the panel last week, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be starting that one next week. You guys know that we finished up our Tiffany project. Tiffany? They're all running together. We finished up the project last week. I think it was Tiffany. And that one will be at the long arm here in the next few days. I did get the 2 quilts back from the long arm that we had sent her, our Tropics one, and then we sent her one that's called London Bridge. It was from a year and a half ago. We did do it on the channel. It was a long time ago, but I got those back from the long arm. So you guys will see those here again in the next few weeks when we're putting the binding on them. But I've got another quilt here that I want to show you real quick. This one's a quick table runner for Halloween. This one was part of my whips and UFO stash. If you guys were here with me at the beginning of the year, we set some goals up that I wanted to finish at least 4 whips or UFOs this year. And I did finish 1. This is now my second one, so I need to do 2 more, which I think I have an idea of which ones I'm going to do. So you guys will see those popping up here in just a minute. Brenda wants to know what the pattern name is. Brenda, are you talking about the pattern for today? The pattern for today that we're going to be working on is called Resilient. Looks like there might be some connection issues here, guys. Sorry about that. I am watching YouTube today, and it looks like there's a little bit of a delay on something. So sorry about that. Let me take a sip of drink here. Hold on. Today's pattern is called Resilient. There's a link in the description box below if you're interested in that. But let me show you a quick showing of this pattern that I just finished up. This one is called Ribbons. It's a free pattern by Donna Jordan of Jordan Fabrics, and it's just a quick table runner. This one is made with Halloween fabrics. I know the colors are kind of off, but this one is made with Halloween fabrics. Just a quick table runner. And then here's the back. You guys can see what that looks like. Pretty neat. Ooh, wow, the camera really didn't like those colors, does it? But this is one of my whips and UFOs that I finished up, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to bring this one to my office at work, and I'm going to display that for Halloween, so I'm excited about that. So that one will be going with me soon. I'll set that one over here for now. Alright, so let me hop into chat, say hello to everybody in chat, and then we're going to be getting started with our Resilient project. Oh, the one with Mama Joyce. I'm sorry. That one is called Hillside Charm. It's a sugar pine quilt designs for Villa Rosa. You guys can see it here. It's called Hillside Charm. It is I'll read it again to you guys. So 23 by 41. Oh, I was a little off. Sorry. 23 by 41 panel. You need at least 72 5-inch squares, or it says 9 fat sticks. We're going to be using fat quarters. We've got a few for those. And then a yard for the framing. And then there's an optional border of a 1 1/4 yards if you need that. And then, of course, there's binding. But that's what we're going to be working on. Hillside Charm. There you go. So that's what we're going to be starting on next week. Like I said, I don't know that Mama Joyce will be joining us on camera. But she will be joining us on the project. So probably just, in pictures and things like that. So, all right, let me hop into chat, say hello to everybody there. I know that Brat46 was mentioning that she was in there last night. Now, Brat, I did not see any of the messages from last night. I did see the messages from this morning where you said there was like 3 hours left and then like 2 hours left. I did see that. So that's really exciting. So thank you so much for your dedication and being there so early. My goodness, I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. And Linda was there about 2 hours ago. So thanks so much, Linda, for being part of that as well. They seem to have a lot of fun being the very, very first ones. And there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate it. Naomi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for that. Kathy, good morning. Thanks so much. Kathy's one of our moderators. Make sure you say hello to her. Kathy and Terry are our two newest moderators. I haven't seen Lucas's name yet, but I'm sure he may pop in later. I know he's down south with Tony. He's visiting Tony this weekend, so he may be still asleep. And that's okay. He's allowed to take a little mini vacation every once in a while. Joyce Hernandez, good morning. Thanks so much. Susan, good morning. How did your quilts do at your quilt show? Susan had entered her quilts into a festival, or forgive me. I know you told me what it was, and my brain just shut off there for a second, so I can't remember what it was. But how did they do? Gosh, I hope they did okay. Sorry, going through trip. Good morning, Lorraine. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. Hello, Judy. Good morning. I see YouTube keeps spinning. That's going to make me crazy all day. Sandra, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Tammy, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Tammy had a live stream yesterday, so if you didn't get a chance to check that out, make sure you check out the replay for her. You can do exclamation point. I think it's Tammy in chat to get a link to her page. If not, I'll make sure to get one set up for her. I think we've got one. Sylvia, I think I said good morning to you already, but just in case, good morning again. And good morning again, Terry. Thank you so much for being here. She says, nice and cool morning here on the East Coast. It was chilly yesterday. I mean, I don't even know what the temperature is today. I know yesterday when I woke up, it was 48 degrees outside. It was so cold. 52 right now. It was 48 degrees yesterday with a high of 66. It was chilly. Right now it is 52 degrees. Mr. Wizard mentioned this morning that it was a little chilly in the house this morning, but that's okay. It makes really good sleeping weather. Really, really good sleeping weather. Let me see if I can find anybody else in chat. Linda, Judy, good morning. Terry, purple chair. Agnes, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. Brenda, good morning. It's so great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. She said she didn't get notified. You know, sometimes YouTube is weird like that. I mean, I can't send out the notifications, but I wish I could. Denise, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. Hi, Gladys. So great to see you as well. Thank you so much for being here. The State Fair. Yes, sorry about that, Susan. Thank you. She says, State Fair, she got blue ribbons and best in category as new entries. That is awesome, Susan. Congratulations. That's so very exciting for you. Channel link is not working. Okay, well, we'll get that set up. You got a live again tonight. Siberian Wind says she's got a live again tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's working. I'll try and make a note here. Actually, let me make a note because Lucas isn't here and he usually makes notes for me. Let me make a note, Tammy, and I'll get that set up for you. I apologize that it's not working. I like to try and support my moderators as much as I can. And obviously, if I'm missing one, I want to make sure I get it. So Tammy, Siberian Wind, I will get that one set up after the channel today, so I apologize for that. Brenda says, I even snuck in early and clicked notify me. Oh, YouTube, sometimes you just can't do things. They just don't work well sometimes. That's all right. Yes, technology is always fun, Tammy. Yeah, it's always fun. That's a good way to put it. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our Resilient project. Give me just a second here. I'm still trying to recaffeinate myself. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, I wanted to give I think I said it already, but I want to thank Saran again for allowing me to be a part of his channel yesterday. I really appreciated his invite and hanging out with him for a little while. And we were able to make some new friends. We got about 16 new subscribers here. We're up to about 640. So if you are a new subscriber, please make sure you say hello in chat so that... Oh, perfect, Terry. Thank you so much. She said she put her link above, so I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll make sure to get a command set up for it in Streamlabs. But I just wanted to make sure that we give a special shout out to all of our new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you at least say hello in chat so we can officially welcome you. You don't have to participate in chat at all if you don't want to, but at least that way we have a little bit of a way to say thank you to you for being here. All right, so resilient. Now, resilient is basically half square triangles. Let me flip over to my zoom camera so I can show you a little bit more about what this looks like. Give me just a second here. All right, zoom camera is up. The lighting on it is kind of weird, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is. This is what the actual, the actual block looks like. It's this really pretty, like almost like a star flowery block. It's really kind of neat. You kind of see it there. It's a little bit bigger than the zoom camera, but that's okay. Kind of neat. But basically it utilizes all of our different fabrics. So that's why we have to be careful with what pieces we're picking and how we're picking them to make sure that we get that all set up correctly. And you guys remember, if you've been watching this particular project, we actually had to set up a block a planning sheet, which is this one here, which basically laid out each of our different fabrics for us in the different colored blocks. Hi, Joyce. Good morning. Kathy says she just subscribed to Tammy. That's awesome, Kathy. Thank you for that. So this was our block planning sheet. So we went through each of our fabrics and we actually laid them out into the different numbers that we have. That's 1 through 6 pieces for each block. And we finished block 1, so we're going to be working on block 2 today. And we're just going to kind of make our way down. Now I have pulled the pieces for blocks 1 through 5, or I'm sorry, 2 through 5, so that we can kind of move along a little bit faster. This one's going to take us a while because, like I said, we're going to be going one block at a time just to make sure, because I have a tendency to get distracted easily, and I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly because I don't have a whole lot of scrap for each of these fabrics, so I have to be really careful. So let's go ahead and get started with block number 2. I'm going to set this over here. Here's my instruction sheet. I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath here like this. So this is for pieces that we need for block number 2. Now it tells us to make a lot of half square triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and flip out my presser foot here for a minute. I'm going to be flipping back and forth between my clear presser foot that does not have the guide on the side of it, and then my presser foot that actually has a guide on the side of it as well. So you can see the little guide there. I'm going to be switching back and forth between those two quite a bit today, depending on which type of block we're going to be making. There we go. Set that one off to the side for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and line these up so that we can get them going. Number 2. So we're going to set these 2 small pieces off to the side for now because we're not going to need those. Oh, and it looks like we did some sewing already, so that's kind of cool. We must have finished this off at the end of our last video and I didn't realize. So we went ahead and we actually sewed up all of our half square triangles together. You can see they're all sewn up there. And we're going to go ahead and slice those apart. So let's go ahead and do that then. I didn't realize we'd sewn those up. Just finding my lines. Okay. Good morning, Kelly. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out Kelly's channel. She's doing a lot of cool, fun things over there. I was just kind of peeking in on her channel this morning, and she had a new video out. Make sure you check her out. You do !Kelly in chat. It'll give you a link. Our moderators, Terry and Kathy, also have their own channels, so make sure you check them out as well. You can do !Kathy and !Terry. That's T-E-R-I-E in chat. I'm sure those ladies will get those links up for you here shortly. We have a bunch of content creator friends on our channel. If you want to know who all of them are, you can actually do !Creators in chat, and it'll give you a command list for all of them, and then you can choose which ones you want. Or if you're on our channel page, you can actually go down, scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says Danny's Experts, and you can select that there as well. Oh, good morning, Lucas. Ladies and gentlemen, look who's in the house. Lucas is in the house. Good morning, Lucas. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, Lucas, if you wouldn't mind, since you're on, if you have access to your computer, I don't know if you do or not, could you set up a link for Tammy, Siberian Wind? Otherwise, I've made a note. I can do it later. Terry was able to put her link in chat, but we don't have a command set up for her. Oh, did you see my fur baby sneak in here? Well, you probably can't see her because of the Zoom camera. I had a fur baby that snuck in here for just a minute. She left again. Oh, currently on the road. Okay, no problem. No problem. You drive safely. You must be heading back somewhere. Oh, looks like we missed the block. Looks like we lost the block. Let me see if we lost it from someplace. I don't see any empty pieces anywhere. I think we're okay. Alright, so we've went ahead and opened up our half square triangles. Let's go ahead and get those pressed open. And then we will get started with putting this block together. Ah, okay, yeah, you know what? That's a long name, Siberian Wind. We'll go ahead and change that to Tammy. We'll fix that. Yes, I do. I need a third camera for fur baby surveillance. You're absolutely right. I should hang one like on the bottom of the desk or something. That would be fun. Hi, Donnell. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm waiting for the iron to warm up so we can keep going here. But thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope your weather is well. I hope you are well. Yes, need a camera. Yes. That would be fun. I could probably do that. I could probably set up like a little mini camera. That could be fun. Just a little block in the corner. That would be fun. I got the pattern from Fort Worth Studio for $2, no shipping cost. Wow, which pattern? This one? Third camera for fur babies. That's awesome. That's a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and press these open. I don't normally press seams open. It's just not my style normally, but this one is like really complicated. So I'm going to go ahead and press these open, and we're going to see how that works out. Probably should pull down my thing. Like I said, these blocks are going to take me a hot minute to do because I'm going to be doing them one at a time. I want to make sure that I'm doing them correctly because you guys know me, I get distracted easily. So, really want to take my time. Reorganizing my space today. Oh, I do that probably 2-3 times a week. I am constantly reorganizing my space, so I completely understand that. Constantly reorganizing my space. How is everyone doing today? Susan, I know you're doing your quilt show. Congratulations on winning those blue ribbons. Are there any other quilt shows that I'm aware of? Or that I'm not aware of? That anybody wants to tell us more about? Go. Just ironing these open. So yesterday on Sean's channel, we were talking about breakfast. Someone was making breakfast, and they were telling us about all the things they were making for breakfast, and it just kind of snowballed into a conversation about it. And one of the things that got mentioned was waffles and pancakes, and somehow we got into the subject of maple syrup. And so this morning, when I got up this morning, Mr. Wizard, I guess the seed had been planted in his head yesterday, so when I got up this morning, he was making pancakes. So I got to have some chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast this morning. So thanks to Mr. Wizard for that. It was yummy. That was a nice treat. Normally I make some eggs, some breakfast tacos for he and I for breakfast on Sunday mornings. Do a little bit of eggs, sometimes some sausage. Yesterday for breakfast I made them with some mushrooms and onions. They were really good. I have some leftover mushrooms. Kelly says, okay, breakfast in hand. She says her channel has been very quiet as of late, very busy this month with life. No, Kelly, we completely understand that. That happens. That happens a lot. We understand. I did see that you posted a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, so I think that's the one I was paying attention to this morning. Naomi says, we had French toast yesterday. Too darn hot today. Cereal for sure. Oh, I bet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's chilly by us right now, so pancakes was perfect. Mr. Wizard loves pancakes. That's like his favorite go-to breakfast is pancakes. So. Susan says, my breakfast was sausage, egg, and cheese muffin today. Yum. I'm assuming you made that yourself. I love those. That's probably one of my go-tos. I love eggs. Scrambled eggs, poached. I just love eggs. I'm not a big hard-boiled egg person. I'm not a fan of the texture. But I do love eggs like scrambled or fried or sunny side up. I just love eggs. I could eat eggs every day. Terry says, no, I need breakfast. Oh, apologize for the dogs barking. If you hear puppies barking in the background, I apologize. They must have caught wind of something outside. It's a nice day out, so they've been in and out of the house every day this weekend, or it's like every couple of days, or every couple of hours, I should say. They've been in and out. Terry says, I'm allergic to eggs. Interesting. That is interesting. I can't. I mean, I think my aunt is also allergic to eggs. She doesn't like them anyway, so she doesn't really eat them. But that's interesting that one would trigger it more than the other. Oh, the Villa Rosa Hillside Charm pattern. Gotcha, Brenda. Gotcha. Yeah, it was super easy to do. Yeah, I got it as a freebie from Cotton Cuts. I don't even know when. And then I've seen it in a couple of places. I was saying that Mama Joyce actually purchased a pattern kit, or a quilt kit for it when we were in Collinsville, when we were visiting one of the quilt stores in Collinsville, Illinois for our Elvis Festival. She actually bought a Halloween quilt kit for it, so she's excited to get started on that. These blocks are going to go together really slowly because there's a lot of prep involved with them. So I apologize for that. So I'm just going to kind of ramble on. Fill up the time. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like when you press seams open, they always take longer. But I am going to press these open. I'm wondering if that might help things out a little bit. All right. So I mentioned about our goals for this year. At the beginning of the year, we had done one episode where we were basically just chatting. We didn't really do a whole lot of sewing. And we were setting up goals for ourselves for the channel for this year. And one of the goals that we had was to start 4 new projects, which I'm happy to report when we do the Hillside Charm project next week. That will be the last of the 4 new projects that we were going to start this year, which is really exciting. But one of the other things that we set up a goal for ourselves to do was to finish 4 UFOs. I've got an entire bin here, this bin here. No, sorry, this bin here. That's full of UFOs. These are basically, most of them are table runners. There's not a whole lot of full-size projects there. That I wanted to finish up. I wanted to try and clean out that bin a little bit. Kind of give myself some more space for storage, things like that. So I finished one, and that one was the patriotic quilt. You guys saw me put the binding on a few weeks back. Well, gosh, it was probably in May or June when we did that one. And then now I just showed you the Halloween one that we just pulled out. And now the next one I'm going to pull out is also a fall themed fabric line. It was leaves. It's maple leaves. And I did that project while I was at my quilt retreat a couple years ago. I did the quilt top for it. I just loved it. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I never finished it. I never sandwiched it up and quilted it. So we're going to be pulling that one out next. And then I have 2 Christmas table runners that I'd really like to finish up. Christmas/winter table runners that I'd really like to finish up. So those are my goals of things that I've been doing off camera. Susan says, back to the sewing machine to sew up the binding in the front of her summer challenge quilt. I can understand that. Kelly says she has to dig out her fall fabric, make 2 dog bandanas and a Halloween bandana for Henry. Ferris already has one. She's talking about her fur babies. All right, these are all pressed up together. So let's go back to our pattern here for a second and our color charts. Put our color chart here for a second so we know what we're doing. Okay, we need to do here is our pattern. This is how to lay out the block. You can see the different numbers there. So let's go ahead and match those up. So we need our number 1s, which are here on either side of our number 1 and number 2 fabrics, which is this one here. So let's lay these out. So here's row number 1. Just like that. See if we can do this. I'm running out of room. I was telling Mr. Wizard the other day, I think I want to get one of those foldable tables that you've seen, that I'm sure you've seen. I think they call them craft tables. But basically when it's folded, it's only like this wide. But then when it folds out, it's like huge. I think I'm going to get me one of those. Because I really like the idea of having some extra table space in here. I think that's really going to help things out. 1 and 3 is this one. And this one is 1 and 3 like that. And then I need 2 and 3, which is this one here. Like that. See, this is why you lay everything out. There we go. That's better. It's like a star, basically, in the center. And then 6 and 4. So 6 is this dark green. It's these 2 here. 6 and 4. Like that. Like that. And then 4 and 5 is this one, and this one. like that. And then 6 and 5 is this one here, like that, like that, and this one is 5 and 6 like that, right? Let's check. 6 and 6, 1 and 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. 6 and 6. Yep, that's what it looks like. All right, you can kind of see the top half of it there in the zoom camera, but you can kind of see the whole thing here. This is what it's going to look like when we're done. But that is what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and put these pieces together. Well, let me go ahead and flip up my presser foot again. Turns out I didn't need this one just yet. We will soon. I've got some dog ears here from the triangles, so I'm going to go ahead and clip those off as I go. That way they don't get all tangled up in the presser foot as I slide back. Go. All right. There's that one. I'm going to do this one. Kelly's giving everybody instructions in chat on how to make the bandanas for her dogs. I think that's awesome. My fur babies have Cubs bandanas that Tony got from one of our local festivals. So she picked those up for them. So that's what they're wearing right now. Hopefully I'm doing these right. Guess we're gonna wait and see. Go. So was anybody able to catch Sean's live stream yesterday where I joined him? We're working on clue 2 of our Wild West PMQ. A lot of fun. I'm loving that colorway. It's not a colorway that I would have chosen for myself. I'm doing Crimson Holdings, which is basically blacks, grays, and reds. It's definitely not a fabric line I would have picked for myself normally. But for some reason, it was speaking to me. Like, as soon as the colorways came out, it was like, I had to have that one. I'm not really sure why, but I did. All right. So now these are all lined up together, and I'm going to actually try to keep them together, so then that way I don't kind of get myself confused. So I'm going to go ahead and push this one that way, push this one this way. This one this way. There we go. And then this one this way. He was working on Tombstone, which is it's basically like grays. It's a lot of gray colors. Not another colorway I would have selected for myself either. But it is still a really pretty one. I was really enjoying watching him put that one together. Is it husband quilt material? Denise, I'm sorry, are you talking about the tombstone? Yeah, the tombstone one was, it could be considered masculine colors. It was basically just grays. Crimson Holdings is, I would not consider that one masculine colors for sure. It had a lot of really big flower prints on it. So I don't know that I would consider that one. And unless, of course, you know, your husband likes flowers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I wouldn't consider that one a masculine colored quilt, no. Alright. Grab this one. I'm cutting off the dog ears as I go here. Hopefully I'm putting these together right. Guess we'll find out. The blocks are not difficult. I don't want anybody to think that these blocks are difficult. They are not difficult at all. It is just a matter of they're kind of detailed. You really have to make sure that they're in the right order in order to achieve the design that you're looking for. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not making too many mistakes. That's why I'm kind of going slow and only doing them one at a time. You probably could like chain piece them together and do them a little bit faster. But I feel like I would confuse myself too quickly with that. So I'm going to stick to what I'm doing now. That seems to be working the best for me. There we go. There's this piece here. Clipping off these dog ears as we go. I have to say, now that I have switched out the flooring in this room, we removed the carpeting in all of our bedrooms and replaced it with plank laminate flooring. And I have to tell you, I actually swept and mopped this floor last weekend before our live stream. It was so nice to clean. Like, my allergies in my house are much better now that we've gotten rid of a lot of the carpeting in the house. And it's just I am so happy with our decision to do this. I was concerned. I was worried that, you know, taking the carpet out of the bedrooms was going to make things uncomfortable, you know, on your feet, because I don't like wearing shoes or slippers. It's not my thing. So I was worried that it was going to make things uncomfortable, but I don't feel like it has. I feel like things are going pretty well. Way. There we go. Trying to figure out what way I'm doing things here. There we go. Let me just triple check and make sure that this is correct. It does appear that I'm keeping things in order, so yay for me. I should have started on this side and worked my way that way. It probably would have made it a little bit easier for me instead of having to flip everything over, but that's all right. Lessons learned, right? Yeah, Susan, I have to agree with you. The plank laminate flooring, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's super expensive. I mean, there are inexpensive options out there. We went for a more expensive option because we have animals and things, and I wanted to make sure that it was waterproof and animal proof and scratch proof and all that other jazz. So we did pay a little bit extra for the type, for the brand that we purchased. But it's the same stuff that we have in our kitchen, and we have absolutely loved it in our kitchen. And so we just, you know, I decided that, you know, if the animals are going to have accidents on an area rug or something like that, that's going to be a whole lot easier for me to keep clean than trying to shampoo the whole carpet, you know? It's just not really something I want to do anymore. The carpet shampooers are big and bulky, and they take forever. And it's just not really something I was interested in doing anymore. So we opted for the plank laminate flooring, and we are so happy with our decision. We only have one room left in the house that has carpet. That's our living room. We will eventually switch that one out as well. But we're not really in a situation right now where to do that. That'll be something probably for next year. But I gotta tell you, this is the first time that I've really, like, I mean, I've swept and mopped my kitchen floor numerous times since we've gotten it. We've had our kitchen redone for a couple of years now. So, I mean, I knew what it was going to be like. But just being able to do that in the bedrooms, and especially in here in my sewing room where, you know, you have all your little threads and your little pieces of fabric, everything everywhere. It was so much nicer to be able to just sweep it all and then mop the floor, as opposed to lugging around the heavy vacuum. And then, you know, the vacuum doesn't always pick it up because the pieces are so small. I didn't have to deal with any of that anymore. It was really nice. For those of you wondering what I'm doing with these big scissors here, I'm just trimming off the dog ears because I pressed all of my pieces open. I pressed the seams open. So I'm just trimming off the dog ears. I don't necessarily need to do that. I mean, they are part of the seam allowance anyway. But I just didn't want it to get caught up underneath my machine. I use a guided presser foot, and so sometimes that stuff can get caught up underneath there. Grace Hernandez says she's allergic to eggs as well. You know, I know a lot of people that are allergic to eggs. A lot of people I've known. My aunt, like I said, my aunt is allergic to eggs too. All right. So, I'm just pressing these all to one side. I've got the top going towards the right. And the next row going towards the left, and I'm just doing every other row going a different direction, so then that way my seams will meet up really nice. I'm just finger pressing everything right now. We'll give the whole block a nice hard press after we put it together. But it's actually going together a little bit better. I think the hardest part is just kind of matching up those fabrics, getting those fabrics to line up the way you need them to. All right, let me just triple check and make sure that I've got this correctly. Yes. Yes. All right. Now we're just going to go ahead and sew up the rows. Dang it. Dropped the whole thing on the floor. Excuse me a minute while I go downstairs. All right. Oh. For those of you paying attention just now, I have learned a new trick with my purple thing. And the next time it comes up, I'll show it to you. Rather than using it to push the fabric forward on the front, I actually go behind and I use this little flat piece here. And I lift up the back of my presser foot with it. And then that seems to slide everything through really, really nicely. Hi, Carrie. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. Thanks for joining us today. But that seems to work really, really well. It seems like that's really my problem, is that my presser foot gets caught. And I just have to fix it that way, you know? But you'll see me do that a lot in my, I apologize, the neighbor next door has a really loud car. So if you hear that, I apologize for that. But you'll see me do that a lot in our Floral States of America project. I'll do that quite a bit. This doesn't feel like it's laying right. Let me see. There we go. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. A little bulky here in the corner. That's okay. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get this one sewn up together now. Okay. Carrie Lynn says her workers are looking for her. That's not good. I'm not quite sure how we got stuck, but we got stuck. So let's try that again. There we go. Come on. Alright, and now we just sew the top and the bottom half together. Looks like it's twisted the seam there. That's alright. Sorry guys, just kind of paying attention to what I'm doing here. Give me just a second and I'll be able to hop back in the chat and see what's happening. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. Block 2 is officially done. Let's take a look at it. Oh, a new apartment. Oh, gotcha. That'll be nice. Sometimes new apartments can be fun. Alright, here we go. Block number 2. Ta-da! What do you think? Oh, I got it upside down. It goes this way. There we go. Block number 2. You can't really see the bottom line here too much because the different fabrics are so close to in color together. But it is there. So that's what the block looks like. That is block number 2. So yay. I love those colors. Well, thank you very much, Terry. This is the Anne of Green Gables fabric line. I had a big fat quarter bundle that was purchased for me as a Christmas gift a few years ago, and I struggled for a while to try and find a fabric that would really showcase a pattern that would really showcase these fabrics as well as I would like them to. So I did finally find this one, and I'm really excited for it. That is Anne of Green Gables. So there you go. Yes, the bundle is still available. I mean, obviously, fat quarter bundles are a bit expensive, but it is just so, so pretty. I absolutely love it. So, yeah, I recommend it for sure. All right, so now we are on to block number 3. I told you guys these blocks are going to go together really, really slowly because I want to make sure that I'm getting everything exactly the way I need it to. So the first thing we have to do is we have to match up our fabrics together based on the pattern. Oh, it looks like these were already sewn up too. Look at that. We must have done some extra work here and I didn't know it. So these are all sewn up together already as well. So let's go ahead and slice these up. And get them, looks like I've got a very faint line written there. Go ahead and get these pressed open and get another block put together. All right. Hi Fern, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. We appreciate you being here. There's a brand new blade in here, so I know that must have been me and not the blade. There we go. There we go. Go ahead and get these triangles sliced up. And then we will... There we go. Awesome. I think I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the stream, but if you are part of my scrap busting club, your boxes have just went out in the mail on Friday. So they said that they were expected to deliver on Monday, so keep an eye out for those. If you are interested in becoming a part of the scrap busting club, you can sign up for the Thumbelina membership option, which is the least expensive option in on the YouTube join section. and you can become a member of that. And I guarantee that I send out at least one box a month, I'm sorry, not a month, one box a year. But I'm kind of going through a bunch of my old fabrics and my old stash and getting rid of things. So you'll probably see one more shipment this year towards the end of the year, and then you'll get it probably at least 2 next year. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, if you like working with scraps, maybe consider joining that group if you're interested in it. And basically it's $2.99 a month, and basically that just covers the cost of the shipping throughout the year. Because those are in boxes, they are not in envelopes, so they are a little bit more expensive than just like your fat quarter redemptions and things like that. So they're a little bit more pricey. Denise became a new member. Hi Denise, thanks so much for that. I truly appreciate that. Welcome to the club. She has joined the Thumbelina Club. Oh, perfect. So go ahead, and I need you to email me with your address. I think, Denise, I have it on file already. But if not, I'm going to ask you to send it to me again just to be on the safe side. And then, of course, you're available to become part of the Scrap Busters Club. So I will add you to that as well. Like I said, I did already send out one box, but another one is coming later in the year for sure. So I keep scraps from anything that's over 1 inch by 1 inch, but sometimes it's full yardage pieces. Like I tried to put a little bit of bigger pieces in there with some smaller pieces, and you know, they're just kind of all over the place as to what they are, but they are scrap pieces. There's no rhyme or reason to them or organization to them at all, so I do apologize for that. But welcome to the club. Thanks so much for that. Hi Dawn, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you guys are not already, please make sure you head over to Dawn's channel and give her a subscribe. She's always super busy on her channel. She does a lot of really cool, fun things over there. I love watching her and catching up with her stuff. She's big on Instagram too, so make sure you go check her out on Instagram. And she also has a blog. I believe when you do the link for her channel here, if you do !Dawn in chat, it'll give you a link to both her YouTube and her blog. So make sure you check that out. Denise, you can do !Email in chat to get my email address if you don't already have it. I'm pretty sure I have your address already on file, but if not, I want to get it just in case. So if you could just send me a quick email to let me know that you want to join, that you want to join the Scrap Buster Club. The club guarantees at least one box a year, but I'm going to tell you there's going to be at least 2. Like, at least 2. I had a couple of those go out already. There is also, just in case anyone's interested, there's also the Fat Quarter Club, which is another membership option for you. It's a little bit more expensive than the Thumbelina one. I think it's $5.99 a month. But that one guarantees you 3 fat quarters a quarter. So every 3 months you'll get 3 fat quarters from me. And you're also part of my Scrap Busters Club as well. Those are just 2 perks if you're interested. Don't worry, we still are going to be doing a bunch of giveaways throughout the year. I'm just not stopping any of that. Fern says if you get low, I can send you some. Well, Fern, I'll let you know. I mean, I'm not low yet, but I can let you know about that. I'm happy to help you disperse with those if needed. I'm not low yet. I still have quite a few. I am pressing these seams open, which to me, when you press the seams open, they always seem to take longer, in my opinion. They're more tricky. You gotta really push them down hard. Siberian Wind says she's always accepting scraps 1 square and anything 1-inch squares and anything larger. So, you know, Fern, if you want to go over to Siberian Winds, to Tammy's channel and subscribe over there and get her address, you can always send them to her as well. I am not a big scrap buster, and that's why I give mine away, because I am terrible with them. I'm terrible with them. Oof, the slots are being good today. Oh, that's good. Dawn wants to know if anyone is low on scraps. Scraps is definitely something that we all seem to have an abundance of. Some people are really great about them. Like, some people are just awesome about making projects with them. And I wish I had the kind of time. I mean, I have a bunch of projects like thought out, but I am just not very good with time management or I just don't have enough time to work with them. And I'd much rather give them to someone that has the time that can work with them, than them just sit in a drawer or in a bin or somewhere. Tammy says she's working on a mosaic quilt with 1-inch squares that she's working on. So if anybody has any 1-inch square fabrics, my gosh, that's a lot of work. Those are super tiny. My goodness. By the time you get the 1/4-inch seams in there, it's only a 1/2-inch piece of fabric. Very heavy, yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, with that much fabric and that small pieces and that much seams, the seams really make a difference when it comes to weight. I bet. My goodness. Are you stabilizing the pieces to something? Like, I know that Cripes, I can't remember her name now. One of the YouTubers that I follow, she uses calculator tape. That she sews all of her crumbs, basically. She sews all of her crumbs to some calculator tape into strips, and then she uses those. It's kind of almost like a paper piecing type of situation that she does. And I actually have thought about that myself, and I don't really have enough time to organize my scraps well enough to be able to do something like that, so... Fern says 1.5 is the smallest that she keeps. Hi, Betty. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Betty says that whenever she loses her sojo, she gets them out and she sews like a mad woman. That's a good idea. Just grab and sew. There you go. Oh, Naomi, no problem with that. She says she was sorry for promoting herself. Don't you worry about that. She says if anyone would like to vote for her 2 entries in the Sewing Machine Plus Sew Fest competition, she'd appreciate it. Vote once per day until the 12th. Naomi, if you want to share the link for that on our Facebook group, you have my permission to do so. We'd be happy to support you over there. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow us to share your links very well here. But you can set up something. You can share that with us either on Facebook or Instagram, and we can get that for you. If you don't have either one of those, you can email it to me, and I can share it for you. Just do ! Email. There's a grid you can use. Oh, okay, Katie. Thank you. Fusible quilters grid. Oh, okay. Oh, Joyce, are you talking about the calculator tape? That's not a tip that I had. That is something that I learned from another quilter. Gosh, I wish I could remember her name right now. She's one of the more infamous ones, and for the life of me, my brain is just fried. I can't remember her name at the moment. But yeah, she's the one that actually I learned that from. But she uses the calculator tape, and she sews the pieces right to the tape, and it's a real thin, paper, so you can just kind of peel it off. But she sews it up into long strips, and then she just sews those strips together. So yeah, I thought that was a neat idea, especially for your little bitty crumbs, so you can kind of stabilize them a little bit. And it's inexpensive. I mean, a roll of calculator tape is nothing. You'll send me an email. Awesome. A teddy bear from 1.5 inch squares. My goodness. Yeah, Naomi, email it to me, and I'll be happy to share it on our Facebook group for you and on our community tab here. I love supporting local charities as much as I can. I mean, obviously, I can't support every single one of them. But, even if it's just sharing a link for that kind of stuff, if it's a charity or competition, those types of things. Our community members are important to me, so I want to try and support them as much as I can. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to spam the channel with that kind of stuff, but every now and again, for our dedicated subscribers, I'm okay with. And I know that the Sew the Dress event is happening. I know Terry is actively involved in that. I know she's promoted that for quite a few years. So if you have not already seen that, make sure you join in on that if you're interested. I'm sure Terry can give you more information on that. Terry, maybe if you want to post something on our Facebook group about that if you have time, that would be great. I would appreciate it. One of these days, I will find the time to participate in that. It's a great program. I think it's awesome. I wish I could participate in it more. But, if nothing else, I can at least get it out in front of a bunch of people. Karen Brown. Yes. Thank you, Brenda. Yes. The cash register tape. Yes. Thank you. I was like, for the life of me, I cannot remember her name. Thank you very much for finding that, Brenda. Yes. Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. Yes. She uses cash register tape, or I used to say calculator tape because I use tape calculators. But yes. Same thing. Susan says, time to head out. Have a great day. Everyone stay safe and keep on sewing. Yes. You too, Susan. Thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations again on your blue ribbons. Thank you, Brenda, for that. Oh, I see Katie posted it too. Sorry about that, Katie. I missed your note earlier. So thank you. Yes, that was it as well. Thank you. That is who I was thinking of. For the life of me, I could not remember her name at the moment. I could picture her. I just couldn't remember her name. So thank you for that. Yes, Karen Brown. I follow her. She has a lot of really great tips and tricks that I like to follow. And she's huge into scrap busting. She's huge into it, so. Get it done. I knew it. I had to find my phone. Yeah. Yes, yeah, like I said, I was like, my brain just went completely blank. Trying to remember her name. So thank you for that. She's one of the bigger ones that I like to follow. Alright, so we finished ironing our seams open, so now we can get back to quilting. I'm going to go ahead and actually trim the dog ears now instead of trying to do it while we're laying out our pieces. I think that might work a little bit faster for us. Man, the music today is on point. I am loving this music today. I think Terry mentioned it this morning. I am liking it today. It's boppy today. I like it. It's kind of a crapshoot with this. I use Pretzel Rock for my music, which is an app through Streamlabs, and sometimes it's a crapshoot. I mean, I've basically the same channels that I select, but sometimes you get good stuff and sometimes not. So, yes, Karen Brown. Yeah, she's one of the ones. She's one of my favorites. She has a lot of really cool tips and tricks that she likes to give out. That she gives. But yeah, that's I don't take credit for the cash register tape. That was something I learned from her. And who knows? I mean, she may have learned it from somebody else. Who knows? But Kathy's just reminding everybody to please give a thumbs up. Tickle that like button. Thank you very much, Kathy, for that reminder. Really appreciate that. Just trimming off these dog ears make my life a little bit easier ahead of time. I could use my rotary cutter and a ruler, but for something this small, I just trim it up. Now, I also could have just used my snips to do this as well, but actually, if I'm being honest, I think my snips need to be sharpened. They seem a little dull to me. So I don't think they would have cut through this. So I'm just going to use my big scissors here. I know it's a little awkward, but it works. My big shears here. And I'm cutting them right into my little plastic cup. This is my little threads cup, if you will. This is what I put all my little teeny tiny scraps in and all my pieces of my threads. That way they're not kind of all over the place, and then I just dump the cup into the garbage can. It's an old plastic kids cup that I got from one of the kids 100 years ago. It's all worn out, but it's got a little mustache on it. A little pretend mustache on it. I don't know if you can see it. You know, one of those, curly Q ones. Back when that was a big thing with kids. Probably got it free from a festival or something. Who knows? It seems like the little kids just seem to like collect these little plastic cups. Like, we had so many of them. Oh my god. And we still have them. It's like we still keep finding them. It's like, where are these coming from? Mr. Wizard had an entire box of them in the garage for a little while. When the kids were little, we had purchased a place setting for each kid. So it was like a themed play set. So it was like Cinderella or, princesses or something. And that was so that there was never an argument about who didn't put their plate away or who didn't, wash their plate or things like that. Everybody had their own, and there was no way you could deny that that was your plate or your cup or your bowl or whatever. So that's what we did when the kids were little. We had 5 girls, so we had to do something. And that seemed to work out really well. Like, that way everybody had the same, they would use the same cup all day. Then before bed, we would wash them for the next day. And, same plate, same bowl, things like that. It saved on dishes, too, because, like, if they were using the same thing and they just rewash it all day, then I wasn't constantly putting things in the dishwasher. And the kids were responsible for washing their own plate, their own dishes at the end of the day before bed, which, taught them a little bit of responsibility. But we had a ton of them. My goodness, there are so many of them. I swear they were like rabbits. They just duplicated themselves. Robin at RS Island Crafts. Sorry, I couldn't read that. RS Island Crafts also does register tape. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily Karen Brown's invention. I'm sure that other people do it as well. That's just where I learned it from. I've always wanted to try it. I've always wanted to try a crumb quilt. But if I'm being honest, I don't have the kind of time or patience. So, all right, pieces are all cut up. Let's go ahead and lay this one out now. It's a little tricky laying it out, so we like to try and be careful with it. All right. So I've got my 2 solid pieces here. The top. One and 2 are these here. Okay. 2 and 3 are here. One and 3 is here. Oops. There we go. 6 and 4. 6 is this light green, and 4, so it's this one's 6 and 4. Like that. 4 and 5 are these. This one. Like that. Okay. And then 6 is this one here. Like that. Like that. Alright, there's our next one. This one's a little different because of the way the colors kind of lined up. It looks more like 2 arrows as opposed to a star. So that's kind of neat how that works out. There you go. You guys can kind of see the star pattern on the screen here. You can probably see it a little bit better on the big screen than you can on the zoom camera. But there you go. There it is. Kind of neat. So let's go ahead and put these together then. There we go. I saw 2 really good movies last weekend. I was in here working on some stuff and I watched a couple of movies. One of them was called Lola. It was a good movie. It was obviously a lower budget film, maybe a film festival film of some kind, but it was a really good movie. It was on Netflix, so if you're looking for a decent movie, you can watch that one. It was about a young lady who's kind of hard on her luck and comes from a bit of a troubled home and how she perseveres against that. A little bit of a sad but also happy ending at the same time. I don't want to give anything away, obviously, but that one was a pretty good movie. And there was another one too that I watched. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. It'll come to me. I also watched the series called Maid. That one was a good one as well. It's about a single mom trying to survive in the world. That one was another one. That was I think a 10 episode series. Came out in 2021, so it's a little bit older, so you may have already seen it, I'm not sure. But it just happened to show up on my feed for Netflix, so I decided to give that one a go. I was pretty impressed with it. Wish I could remember that other one. That other one was pretty good. I can look on my phone. I set the names of the movies to a coworker of mine so I can look it up. Yeah, Fern, it's, you know, it's one of those things. She says the block is coming together really fast. It's detail oriented because you have to make sure that you're doing the fabrics to get together correctly to make sure that the design comes out. But it's not hard. You know, the block is not hard to make. It's just time consuming because you want to make sure that you're doing the fabrics correctly and putting them in the correct order. But no, it's not hard. It's just, I don't want to screw this up. So that's why I'm only doing one at a time to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Kind of laying it out slowly. But yeah, they do come together fairly quickly once you get it all laid out. I think the hardest part of it is actually the half square triangles part. Getting those kind of put together. But it looks like the last time we were together, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it looks like the last time we were together we actually put the half square triangles together. We put 3 or 4 of the blocks together and started sewing up the triangles. So we're kind of moving along a little bit. Joyce says, well, she needs to get busy, so she hopes everybody has a good weekend. Thanks, Joyce, for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Appreciate you spending time with us for a little bit. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Don't forget to check back on the channel during the week to catch up on your on our Floral States of America project. We'll be posting a new video for that. We're going to be talking about Maryland this week. So Maryland will be coming up. Excited to learn more about that one. I'm actually going to try to press these open. Let's see what happens if I do that. Music's on point today, man. It's jamming today. Come on. So try and do open seams on this one. I've never done open seams when I'm sewing the rows up together before, so that's going to be something new for me. We'll see if I like it or not. Normally I'm doing one side or the other so I can match everything up. Hi Iron Stitches, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. We are just working on our Resilient project. The blocks are coming together a little slowly because they are kind of detail oriented. They're not hard. They're not hard to do at all. They're just kind of... I just want to make sure that I'm doing them correctly. So, and I've never done open seams before when I'm trying to sew up a row together, and I'm not sure I'm liking it. It's not laying very nicely for me. Does not seem like it wants to lay very nice. Kind of bunching up on me a little bit. See what that looks like. I might have to take that one apart. I don't think I like that one. Let's see. It looked like this one didn't go together very well. Off quite a bit. I'll do this one. See how it goes together. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself here, guys. I'm just kind of focused on this a little bit. I've never put a row together with the seams open before. So I wanted to try and challenge myself a little bit and do one. See if I liked it, if it went together more easily or more difficult. And so far, I'm not liking it because my rows aren't matching up. But I'm wondering if that's just because I did something wrong in my cutting process, or if that's actually a sewing thing. So we're going to put the rest of it together with the seams open. We'll see if we like it. The only way to know if you like something is to try it, right? I've heard a lot of people say that they prefer to do their seams open. So I want to give it a go. I want to give it a try. So. This one didn't go open. I wonder if that's what the problem was. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy says this quilt's looking really pretty. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking I mean, I love the fabrics. The fabrics I thought were just so beautiful, and I was trying to find a pattern that really showcased the fabrics well, and I think that this pattern is achieving that goal. I believe that this pattern is doing exactly what I wanted it to, and that is basically showcasing all of these beautiful, beautiful fabric colors, and really trying to make it look pretty. And it's different, it's unique. It's not something I've done before. I've never had to make a planning sheet before with the fabric, so that's something new. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. Alright, so there's our third row up together. That one did go together a little bit better. And then our last row is here. And I'm trying to do the open seams. It's not really working for me. Maybe if I had pressed them open before I started sewing it, it might have been a little bit easier, but it's not really working, so. It is not working. So we're just going to go ahead and do our traditional route, and we're just going to go ahead and nest up the seams together. That seems to be it. That's more my comfort zone, and so that's why it's going together a little bit faster than the other way. I think if I actually pressed them open, that probably would have been a little bit easier. Alright, there we go. Alright, this is our third block. Block number 3. You can see it kind of went a little wonky here on me in the center here, but that's alright. Take a look at that. Oops, upside down again. There we go. It's block number 3. So now this one I really like, because you can see the lights and the darks really work well on this particular block. I really like this one. That's not to say I don't like the other ones. I do like the other ones. I just don't think it showcases the fabrics as nicely or the design as nicely. Whereas this one, you can really see the design. And that's kind of what we're going for. I think that worked really well. I really like that one. Alright, Looks like it's 12:30. We've got one more block to put together, and it looks like I've got the pieces already sewn up. So we must have done some prep work the last time, which is fine. So I've got one more here that we can do. We'll go ahead and we'll slice these up, and we'll finish up this one last block, and then we'll call it a day. So let's go ahead and get these sliced up real quick. We must have done a little bit of prep work on our last stream for this one. Oops. There we go. So yeah, so this one goes together a little bit more of a boringly. It's not quite as exciting because we're doing them one at a time. But I think it's going together pretty well. I'm liking it so far. And that, you know, only putting it together 2 or 3 blocks at a time per episode, it's going to take us a while. There's 16 total blocks to put together for this quilt. So it's going to take us a little while. All right, let's go ahead and press these open. I will say that pressing the seams open for the, pressing the half square triangles open does seem to be working pretty well for me. That part does seem to be working nicely, but when I'm actually putting the rows together, trying to do those seams open, I'm struggling with that a little bit. So I'm going to keep pressing these triangles together to open, but the other pieces, not so much. My iron got cold on me. Fern said the weather really changed. 67 degrees here in southern Indiana. Yeah, we had a high of 67 yesterday. I'm in northern Illinois, southwest suburb of Chicago. We had a high of 66 yesterday. When I woke up in the morning to do my live stream with Sean, it was 48 degrees outside. It was a little chilly. It's not to say that I don't like the cooler weather. I absolutely do. I think it makes for great sleeping weather. And I love this changing of the seasons. That's one of my favorite things about living where I do. But yeah, it did take a drastic turn because it was like 80 the day before. So of course my back was just screaming at me. Whenever the weather changes more than 20 degrees, it has more than a 20-degree swing to it, my back cries uncle. And it just kind of gives out on me. It's like, nope, I'm not doing it today. So yesterday I took the day off and I basically did absolutely nothing yesterday. Like, I wanted to come in here and record some more videos for our state project, our Floral States of America project, and I wanted to do a couple of other things in here, and I just could not get it together. Brad46 says, I'm just worried about the early snow. Well, you know, at least here in northern Illinois, it's kind of a crapshoot. It usually starts snowing about October, but we have seen snow as early as September before. Usually nothing heavy though. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. The snow is heavy, but not a lot of it. Like, we don't get, you know, tens of inches of snow in October, but we will get a heavy snow, like it's a wet snow. We've had that happen. Halloween is kind of a crapshoot for us here. Sometimes the weather is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous, and other times it's cold and rainy and snowy and gross. And I feel bad for the little kids. So, yeah, my body pops like popcorn. Yeah. Yeah, I have a bad back. It's, you know, it's kind of one of those things. It's a bit of a catch-22. I have a bad back. And my weight, obviously I know that my weight does not help with that, but at the same time, it's difficult for me to do a lot of physical activities because of my back. So I'm kind of in this catch-22 of, I need to lose weight, but I can't because, things like that. So, uh-oh. The music cut out. I know my stream's doing some weird things right now. I apologize for that. It's doing some weird things. Yes, make sure the costumes can go over snowsuits. Yeah, that was a big thing when I was a kid, for sure. Sorry, guys, the stream seems to be hanging up there for a little bit. If you're watching this and you're getting a little bit of some weird stuff happening, I can see it kind of going a little wonky on us. I did something a little different, and I'm watching a little bit of a different screen here today, and so I can watch as you guys do, and it looks like it's hanging up a little bit. I do have a warning on my screen that tells me that the connection is not as strong as it could be today. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. So I apologize for that. My next equipment upgrade is going to be a new wireless router. I think that might be part of my problem. I think we've had the router for a while, and you guys know technology changes basically every day. So I think I'm going to try and upgrade that. That'll be my next upgrade to my equipment. Will be a new router. Yes, snow on Halloween for sure. Yeah, it's really a crapshoot because I've had Halloweens where Mr. Wizard and I have been able to sit outside and just enjoy the beautiful weather, and it's been so nice and warm. It's been in the high 70s. It's been absolutely gorgeous. And then I've had days where it's in the low 20s. It's freezing outside. These poor little kids are shivering, or it's raining and gross. Yeah, Halloween is a crapshoot here. Judy says she's heading to Illinois in October and she's praying for no snow. Well, it's a crapshoot, Judy. I hope so for your sake as well, but especially around Halloween, it could be anything. I've seen snow in September. A friend of mine got married in mid-September. She wanted an outdoor wedding. She wanted a nice, pretty fall wedding. So she had an outdoor wedding in mid-September, and it ended up being cold and rainy and snowy. So she didn't actually end up with her ceremony outside. She ended up with it inside. So she was kind of disappointed by that. But it's really just, it just kind of is. You can't predict the weather. It's you can't control it. I do think that we are done with our triple-digit high weather. I think we're done with that for the year. I think that our 100-degree, 90 and 100-degree days are over with. Of course, I'm not a meteorologist. But I think they're done for the year. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, that one didn't press out very well. There we go. Man, this pressing seams open stuff, I don't know how you guys can do this with all of your projects. This would make me insane. It's taking forever to press these open. I will say that it does seem like it is easier to put the pieces together with regards to sewing them up a little bit. I will say that they do seem to lay nicer together. But man, it is a real pain to press these things open because it doesn't want to go that way. That's not the natural way of the fabric for sure. So I'm having a bit of a struggle here to get them to stay there. I am pressing two at a time. As you can see, I'm kind of laying two pieces out and then pressing them with the iron. Snow is kind of a catch-22 for me. I love the look of the snow. I like the cooler temperatures of snow. I love watching it fall. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love how watching the trees covered in it. It's beautiful, but I hate shoveling it. And I mean, I'm okay with driving in it for the most part, but when it gets to be really thick and heavy, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. So it's a bit of a catch-22 for me. My back does okay in the winter. Once the weather has turned cold and it stays cold, it's usually not too bad. But this fluctuation in the fall and even in the spring, my back just does not like that at all. But I am looking forward to the snow. I look forward to it every year. Some people, I understand it's not their favorite thing, and that's okay. There are parts of the country where they never see snow, so. Brett 46 says, every winter I want a flamethrower to deal with the snow. I can understand that. A flamethrower might be kind of convenient in some cases. Excuse me. All right. Hi, Lucy. Good morning. Gosh, I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. We are working on our resilient project. It goes together kind of slowly, or at least it is for me, because I'm doing one block at a time just to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. The blocks themselves are not that difficult. It's not technically difficult. It's just I want to make sure that I'm not screwing anything up with regards to the fabrics. So I go together a little slow. Fern says, we had a garden this year. Tomatoes did okay. We've had better years. Peppers and green beans did really well. Yeah, we've tried gardens in the past. Unfortunately, with dairy animals, it turns out to be not so great of a thing. The one year we had this huge bumper crop of tomatoes. It was like fantastic. I was making tomato sauce like crazy. But Mr. Wizard and I don't really like tomatoes, so the only reason we would grow the tomatoes was for tomato sauce. And then the next year we tried to do tomatoes, and they didn't come in at all. So it was we didn't have very good luck with it. So. We have not had a garden in quite a few years. I think the last time we tried to grow tomatoes was when our youngest fur baby was a puppy, and she liked to eat the tomatoes right off the vine. The little snot. And tomatoes are not actually good for fur babies, so we had to prevent her from doing that. We had to put a fence around them just to keep her out of them. And then she still managed to sneak in there and find a way to get in there and get them. She's food motivated, that one. So after that, we just kind of gave up and stopped growing them because we didn't want her to catch anything from them. I have tried to grow green beans before, and I cannot seem to time it correctly to get the green beans because we end up... Like, I start to see the green beans dropping, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll give them another couple of days, then I'll go out and pick them out, and then I go to pick them out, and the whole plant is gone. The whole plant is gone because the bunnies have come and taken it from me, or in my case, I had a dog that was liking to eat the plant. I tried to grow broccoli and cauliflower one year. The dog was eating the plant right out of the ground. The whole thing, I tried fences. I've tried everything to keep them away, but they kept finding ways to get in there and get them. So we just kind of gave up. Really, forget it. A planting of peas before the first killer frost. Oh, that sounds like it could be fun. I'm not a huge pea fan. I mean, I will... They have their purpose as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they go really great in a pasta dish. If you don't really cook them for very long. But I'm not one for, like, a green pea soup or something like that. That's not my thing. I'm just trimming off all the dog ears on these since we pressed all the seams open. I've got a bunch of dog ears here. Just trying to trim those up real quick. I could have, you know, used my rotary cutter and line these all up and cut them with the rotary cutter, but I think it would take just as long for me to do it that way as it does this way. Zucchini is a good one. I've had zucchini plants that have come in really well, zucchini and cucumber plants that have come in really well, and then I've had years where I get nothing. My coworker, she plants zucchini by her, so I usually get some from her. She hasn't had too many this year. She said her garden didn't do so well this year. My neighbor would plant flowers around my mailbox because I would kill them. That's funny. Yeah, I used to joke that my house was the plant hospice. It was, you know, I would keep them comfortable in their final days. Mama Joyce makes a lot of zucchini. She makes the zucchini bread with her zucchinis and she freezes it. She makes a lot of that every year. Although I believe she said that even her garden didn't do so hot this year. I think it was really warm this season. And I think that had something to do with it, that it just got warm too quickly and stayed warm too quickly for some things. Like corn and soybeans are going like crazy. They're fantastic, but I think other things just didn't do so hot this year. All right. Got all those cleared up. Let's go ahead and lay this one out. I don't think that I'm going to be able to finish this one on camera because we're just about out of time. But I'll go ahead and finish it off camera for you guys so that we have a full block. So we got a full block that we can work with. Let's see. Let's lay it out and see what it looks like. So these are our big blocks. This is block 4. That's these here. Okay. Trying to make sure I'm laying these out right here. Let's see. 1 and 2 go like this. Right? No. This way. Okay. 1 and 3. This one and this one. This one here, like that. And 2 and 3. These two here. 2 and 3 like that. Nope. Glad I looked at that again. This is why you lay everything out, because sometimes things don't quite match up the way you want them to. Okay, there we go. Now 6 and 4 is... Which one is number 4? Number 4 is those lighter. Must be these. 6 and 4. 6 and 4. 4 and 5. This one here. It takes a minute to like lay this all out. So that's why it's like, okay, let me just make sure I got it all correct. Which is why I'm doing one at a time, because I'm afraid that if I try to speed this up and do this a little bit faster, that I would definitely mess things up. So we're gonna go ahead and go slow. 6 and 5 this way. 6 and 5 that way. Alright, I think that's the next one. You can see that on the zoom camera, you can see this beautiful white here. When you get those light colors with the dark colors, I think it looks better with the dark colors and the light colors in the center. But you want to mix them all up so that you're utilizing each fabric on each block. So that's what this particular block is going to look like. A little bit different than the ones we've been working on before. Fern says she's got to fix her hubby some lunch, so I can understand that. No problem. Lucy reminding everybody to smash that like button. Thank you very much for that, Lucy. I appreciate that. Brenda says, I've got the Elizabeth Hartman dinosaurs to make pillows for grandsons. She has a lot of pieces. Yeah, I actually purchased my very first Elizabeth Hartman pattern. It's dog faces. It's really cute. I can't wait to start that one. That will probably be a project on the channel next year. Because we are maxed out on projects for this year. So that'll probably be on the docket for next year. I'm excited for that one. I've got a bunch of other patterns that I've purchased for fat quarter stuff, some charm pack stuff, lots of fun stuff going on. I don't know if you know this. I mentioned it before, but I recently, thanks to the Illinois Shop Hop magazine, which you guys can see is right here. Thanks to my Illinois Shop Hop magazine, I located another local store to my area. I had known that it was there, but honestly, I didn't realize that it was a quilting store. Based on the name, it's called Sewing Etc. It's in Yorkville, Illinois. And based on the name, I didn't register that it was a quilt store. I thought it was just like sewing. I don't know what I was thinking it was, but I didn't realize it was a quilting store. So I never went in. And because of the magazine, I actually decided to go ahead and pop in there to take a look. And I think I found my new favorite store. So I have spent quite a bit of time in there. I've already purchased quite a few fabrics from there, so I'm really excited about that. I've purchased some new patterns from there. She does long arm services as well, so I might try and utilize her for some of my long arm quilting. I do have a local long arm in my area, so I've been using her, but it's always nice to have a backup just in case, because I'm going to have a lot of things being long armed this year, so... But here is the block. I'm going to go ahead and put this together, guys, off camera, because we're just about out of time for today anyway. So the dogs are super cute. I know. I cannot wait. I have it somewhere. I don't remember where I stuffed it. I stuffed it somewhere, but I don't remember where at the moment. I think it's in this bin here, because this is where all my patterns are. So I'm really excited about that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. I'm going to go ahead and finish this block off camera for you guys, so then that way we have another block finished. We've got one more a section of blocks here put together. So next time we come back, we'll have one more block to put together, and then we'll have to start putting some more blocks together in pieces. So I'm really excited about that. Let me mark these off real quick. So I'm on block 4. So 2 and 3 are done. I'm working on 4 right now. Oops, I'm working on 4 right now. So we'll get there. We're getting there slowly. It's very slow and methodical, but I want to make sure that we're doing it correctly so that we can utilize this really cool design. Let me show you guys again one more time what these blocks look like. This is what the block looks like. Really cool. I love that you can see all the different fabrics, and we're utilizing all of the different fabrics in really nice big pieces, so we can see them very well, and I like the cool design. So I'm excited about that. We'll have to see how the rest of it goes together as we get through. But, yeah. So next week, let me check my calendar just to make sure, because I don't want to give you guys false information. So let me grab my calendar real quick. I'm pretty sure I know the answers to these, but I want to just double check. Wrong calendar. Hang on. Sorry. Let me check the calendar again. Okay, September. All right, our Wild West Clue 2 is going to be on the 18th, so not this week, but next week, the 18th. That's when you will see our Wild West Wednesday. That'll be for Clue 2. Next week, well, this is wrong. Next week it says we're working on Resilient again, but that's not true. I think, I flipped them around. We're going to start on Hillside Charm next week. Next week, Sunday, we'll start on the brand new one called Hillside Charm. And then our After Dark edition is on the 28th, which is a Saturday. It's on Saturday the 28th. So things are pushed back a little bit for the month of September. We're kind of doing things a little bit further back because we've got a bunch of stuff going on that I had to kind of work through. This says, yeah, the 15th will be Hillside Charm. The 18th is going to be our Wild West Wednesday, so 2 weeks from now. That way it gives us plenty of time. Those of you who receive your clues in the mail once a month, it gives you plenty of time to receive your clues. I know Lucas has already gotten his. I purchased mine prepaid, so I have all of mine in the blue box here. I have mine already, but I wanted to make sure that everybody, because I know the U.S. Postal Service has been having trouble, so I wanted to make sure everybody had plenty of time to receive their Clue 2s before we started that, so that's why we won't be doing anything until the 18th on that one. Yeah, so lots of things coming up in the channel. I'll start posting previews for this stuff here coming up in the next few days. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Like I said, we will be doing Maryland this week for our Floral States of America project. I'm really, really liking that project because I'm learning so much about each state. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I believe the states are coming to us in the order in which they became part of the United States. They adopted the Constitution. So that's kind of how they're coming to me. I have no control over when the states come in. So a lot of people have been saying, hey, Danny, when are you getting this state or when are you getting that state? I don't know. They're coming in from Concuts. They send us 5 states a month. We are quite a bit behind. In fact, you can see them all piled up right here. I got a bunch of them piled up right here. So we're working through them slowly, but we'll catch up eventually. So Carrie says October 11th she'll be in a sewing class. All right, well, we'll try and schedule around you. All right, friends. Thank you again so much for today. Thanks for joining me. You guys have an awesome rest of your weekend. I'm going to finish up this block for us so that we have that one done and ready to go. And then I've got some other things planned in here for today, so hopefully I'll get to them. All right, guys, stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you again really, really soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye.